Thanks very much, Suzanne, and you're very welcome, everyone, to today's virtual event. A big thank you to IAB Ireland and to Retail Ireland Skillnet for putting it on. My name is Rob Timoney. I am a business director at AudioXI, which is Ireland's largest digital audio exchange. I also chair IAB Ireland's Audio Council, and today I wanted to give you a brief overview of digital audio as a medium and give you some use cases of how brands of varying different sizes are harnessing digital audio effectively. So to start, I suppose we wanted to give you the overview of what digital audio is. I'm sure some of you listen to it regularly and also consume it on a daily basis. But look, digital audio is any audio content that's streamed on a connected device. So this could be people listening to their favorite radio station in the likes of Today FM, or maybe a regional station like Highland Radio or Beat. It could be your favorite podcast that you enjoy as a break away from the norm. That could be the likes of maybe the David McWilliam podcast or a rugby podcast from Off the Ball. Or it could be you consuming your favorite music on the likes of Spotify, SoundCloud, or maybe a radio brand's music stream. So one of the main formats that we use is a pre-recorded spot advert. So this is where we would take your pre-recorded spot and then stitch it into an audio stream as pre, mid, or post-roll advertising. So really what we say is it mixes the art of audio advertising with the science of digital media buying. And what we mean by that is because it's obviously audio advertising, you get to communicate with a voice. So it's in a very intimate one-to-one environment, but then you also get the tracking, the transparency, and the traceability of your normal digital media ad buy. So all in all, there's a host of excellent Irish digital audio companies out there who can give you the Irish ears of both international publishers, but also local audio publishers. So I would really urge you to reach out and to collaborate with these. It's the likes of Spotify, there's Umax, you'd have numerous print companies like the Irish Times and their podcasts, companies like Acast, Audio One, and of course ourselves here in AudioXI also. So just to give you some data on the digital audio listening in Ireland, this is a recent survey that we did with IAB Ireland and Red C. And what we found was over 2.5 million people listen to digital audio every week. So we started this research in 2019, and we're now actually just about to go to market with our third year of the research. And to be honest, it's a fantastic piece of research for us to have, and one that was much needed for digital audio in Ireland because we always lacked Irish research. We had lots of great international pieces, but now we have really robust Irish research. So we see the likes of like the average person is consuming 16.6 hours every week of digital audio. 44% are listening more than they did 12 months ago, and 23% of those actually expect to increase it more in the coming 12 months. And also digital audio index is really high for that ABC1 audience, with over 46% overall consuming some form of digital audio. So these are some of the key stats that we've seen out of it. It is a much bigger piece of research. So Maeve is going to pop a link into the chat box now where you can find the full research. There's around 30 slides to it, so some light afternoon reading for you. But if you have any questions on it, feel free to reach out to myself or Maeve or Suzanne in IAB. So we just wanted to look at some of the kind of best practices for digital audio and speak a little bit around the KPIs that you should be setting. So that's the best first place to start. So agree KPIs in advance with your that you're dealing with. So your main KPIs will generally be things like impressions served, unique users reached, the listen through rate of your ads. Some publishers will offer the likes of completed listens, but it's a very data-driven medium. So, get your KPIs in advance, agree what success looks like, and go from there. The second point to make is longer ad copy is not always better ad copy. So digital audio is a very creative medium. So unlike some of the broadcast media, you can actually tailor your creative to the audience very easily and very cost effectively. So what we always look to do is to tailor that creative, but also to keep it concise. So longer ad copy isn't always better ad copy. A good 30-second ad can feel like a 15-second ad, but a bad 20-second ad can feel like a minute. So lastly, just to ensure that you are hitting the right audience for your business. So as we mentioned, it is a very data-driven medium. You can target by geo, time, day, and more, which we'll go into. But, get the right ad to the right person at the right time. And that'll just take us into some of the top strengths of digital audio. So as we just mentioned there, we've got some really precise targeting capabilities. And they are the ability to target by age. So if you're looking for an 18 to 24-year-old, and that goes all the way up in age demographics up to 65 pluses. So you can get really specific on your age targeting. Device targeting, you can target by smart speaker, you can target by mobile device, you can target by laptop or digital appliances. Gender targeting does what it says in the tin, so you can target by a male or female. Behavioral targeting, some audio publishers will offer this also. Contextual targeting is another excellent way to reach people. This would be targeting via a sports vertical, maybe a business vertical, an entertainment or a comedy vertical, depending on the product and the context you want to advertise your product within. And then lastly, geo-targeting. So again, we can get really precise within this. You can target via, obviously, country. If you operate in numerous markets, you can target the different markets. You can target via county, so you can go down to a certain county level that maybe your store is in. But also we can draw radiuses around a certain longitude and latitude coordinates. So be that your exact store, and draw a 10 or 15 or 20 kilometer radius around that, and then only serve your audio ads to the people listening within that distance. So again, that gives you the ability to tap into national audio publishers and global audio publishers, but in a really hyper local environment. So secondly, it's a really large and engaged audience is another top strength of digital audio. As we'd mentioned, it's a very transparent environment, and you can get a robust amount of reporting data back on, which we'll touch on in a little second. It's a very cost-effective medium. So much like Doug had just mentioned there, it's sold like display on a CPM basis, or a cost per thousand. It works out at a very low cost per completed listen. And then in terms of cost effectiveness, much like Doug mentioned in display, the creative cost is low compared to some other maybe video-led mediums. So it can start from €400 per piece for full service audio, from scripting to production, and work its way up as you I suppose create more audio assets. However, those audio assets will generally be covered for a year buyout, and you can use them on other mediums as well. So again, collaborate with the audio publishers on that. And there's a low budget entry point as well. So some publishers' minimum spends can range from €500 for a campaign up to €1,000, and then the average campaign spend varies depending on your overall marketing budget. So I just wanted to take in some use cases for digital audio so you can see how some retail clients are using digital audio. And this is an example of some local targeting for Frascati Shopping Centre in Blackrock. So this is where they wanted to create awareness of an offer in the locality. So we drew a 10-kilometer radius around the shopping centre and only served ads within that. So I'll just play that ad now.
Do you fancy winning a €5,000 tip-to-toe personal and wardrobe transformation? Frascati Centre Blackrock want one lucky winner to enjoy a makeover from their extensive brands. That's in fashion and footwear, body and beauty, fine foods and fitness. You can enter yourself or nominate someone you know who would love this fabulous prize. Join me, Lorraine Keane, along with a team of health, fitness, food and fashion experts ready to take you on your journey to the new and best you. FrascatiCentre.ie.
So there'd be numerous use cases for this for retail, ensuring key locations to your business are aware of the services you offer, but also driving footfall into the store, or maybe trying to break into a new town or market. So it utilizes premium publishers in that hyper-local environment to get your message to the right person without any potential media wastage. The second case is, again, this is more of a multi-location targeted campaign, and Velo Coffee are a coffee roasters based down in Cork, and they're using digital audio really effectively. So what they actually did here was they drew a 10-kilometer radius around 18 different Aldi stores across the Leinster and Munster region where their coffee was available. So to ensure that anyone that heard the digital audio ad was only a short trip away from where they could pick their product up. And finally, they incorporated a call to action back to their website where people could order the coffee from, set up a subscription, or even order a machine from them directly. So I'll just play you this.
At Velo Coffee, they love roasting fresh, flavorsome coffee that you can enjoy at home, which is why they're so proud their award-winning Velo Tandem coffee is now available in Aldi stores nationwide. Pick up a pack of Velo whole bean or ground coffee in Aldi, or order your favorite Velo roast online at velocoffee.ie.
Next, I just wanted to take you through a device-specific creative example, and this is an example from SuperValu, where they would have created an ad that ran on smart speakers only. So it's a really clever way of speaking to people in their homes. The average campaign we would run with SuperValu contains generally around 10 pieces of digital audio creative, and it can vary from geo-specific creative, time-specific creative for same-day delivery, and now even some device-specific creatives.
Using your smart speaker for this. Okay, I've added cheese to your shopping list. Yeah, that's pretty smart. But shopping online with SuperValu, that's even smarter. Have the best produce hand-picked and delivered straight to your door. Download the SuperValu app now or shop online at supervalu.ie.
So as we mentioned just earlier, you can also target, via like mobile devices. So again, you could drill down and serve a different audio message to iOS devices or Android devices if you were trying to drive an app download campaign. And again, there's a ton of creative use cases for that. The next example that I'm just going to show you is an example of a 3D or binaural audio ad. So this creates a really intimate experience for the listener, and it's like virtual reality for your ears. So within that, you'll need to have your headphones in for the full effects. So we target it generally towards mobile devices for the optimum experience, but you're going to hear coffee beans being added on the left, a coffee order from behind you, the espresso poured in front of you, the milk being steamed before the coffee is served in front. So again, coffee perfection, but a way of immersing the listener into that experience. So again, if you're not wearing headphones or a headset, this will be made available online and you can listen back later with your headphones in.
We're here to talk about great coffee. Frank and honest coffee.
Can I get a flat white, please?
From medium roast beans ground to perfection, to the pour of our subtly sweet espresso. Making a frank and honest coffee is an exquisite process, and one that's carried out to step-by-step perfection in every cup. Enjoy a frank and honest coffee today in Centra and SuperValu stores nationwide.
So again, if you had your headphones within that, it will be shared later so you can get the true and full experience of that. The last use case I just wanted to take you through was, I suppose, a non-pre-recorded spot version and a podcast-specific medium, which is a podcast live read. So the example I'll take you through is for the National Lottery, and this is where they use people to the podcast live read to drive people in stores to pick up a millionaire raffle ticket or to buy online. But really what we wanted to get across here was this is where a brand would collaborate with a podcaster and they create a 45 to 60 second host read ad rather than a maybe 20-second pre-recorded spot ad like you previously would have heard. What's really important here, it's done in the tone of voice and style of the podcast so that it feels like part of the podcast. And also it can be achieved on Indigenous Irish podcasts like, First Up from News Talk or something like maybe the Two Johnnies from Acast, depending on the audience you're trying to reach. So I'll just play you this example from Off the Ball and the National Lottery.
Season's greetings, Off the Ballers. Nathan Murphy here, and you're very welcome to another Off the Ball podcast. Before we get into that, though, just wanted to let you know that you can now pick up your millionaire raffle ticket today in store at lottery.ie or via the National Lottery. However, there are limited tickets available, so much like an All-Ireland final ticket, when they're gone, they're gone. The Millionaire Raffle takes place on the 31st of December, where there will be one guaranteed millionaire made in Ireland that night. But there's also 6,000 other cash prizes up for grabs. It's the best odds of winning ever. So like Liverpool's impending Premier League success or Kevin Kilbane lifting the Dancing on Ice trophy, you can win it. And if on New Year's Eve you do win it, all we ask is that you remember your good friends and Off the Ball. Maybe we'll go on a tour of Euro 2020 together. It'll be great and brilliant company. So get your ticket today in store through the National Lottery app or at lottery.ie. Play responsibly, play for fun.
Very good morning to you. Welcome along to OTBAM. It's Wednesday morning. We're looking forward
And then you can hear we just run into our podcast content. So we also ran a recent campaign with actually Oprah Winfrey's Super Soul Conversations and Oral-B. So this is where their producer Red was actually only served to the Irish listeners of this global podcast, which meant they were able to activate it in a very premium environment with no wastage of their Irish media budget. So it drove back into Dunnes Stores to pick up the product on offer. So again, there's a host of different examples here and use cases. So please do reach out to us on any questions. So just to wrap it up, if I could leave you with three things around digital audio, it would be one, that there is huge reach with digital audio in Ireland as a medium. You can reach a very large audience, 2.53 million people in a very engaged environment. Again, they're consuming 16.6 hours of audio content on average per week, but with a really impactful audio ad as well. The second one is targeting. So again, reaching a very specific audience with digital audio, be that to a content vertical, be it to a certain device, be it to a particular geo at a certain time of day, or whatever your wider campaign or business objectives are. And then lastly, it is an extremely transparent medium as well. So you'll get full, robust and transparent reports back from your publishers with things like data reporting back on, the locations that your ads were served, the publishers that it ran on, the device that it ran through, and the performance of each device and publisher. And then also things like different creative messages and how each different creative resonated that you may have been running if you were running a multi-creative campaign. So again, a very transparent and open report that you'll receive back. So that is it from me. I just wanted to thank everyone for their time. If you have any questions on digital audio, please use the comment box or feel free to give me an email on rob@audioxi.com. So thank you very much for your time and enjoy the rest of the workshop.